Doing a little more cleanup today, and right now the truck full of cedar, but I can't take it back to where I dump it because the ground's too soft and I'll end up leaving big tracks even with my little baby pickup truck. So I'm just making piles of junk kind of by the driveway. But down here I got something a little interesting I gotta do. I got this pretty large branch that's dangling from a snag. So you can see that this tree is just snapped in half. But the vines are holding it up. And try as I might, I have been unable to pull that sucker down. Here's a slightly better glimpse of it. You can see what a mess is happening over here. But back in here you can see here's the broken snag with the top kind of just dangling off of it. So I'm going to take it down and maybe I'll record a little video. I'm going to try to do a kind of hinge cut at the bottom there, maybe about 24 inches up, so it's at an easy working height. Nick the back and hopefully it'll just go over straight. You can see it's kind of leaning in the right direction. There's nothing big hanging off of it, so it should drop pretty simple. But this is only the second kind of tree that I've dropped, so I'm gonna give it a try. Okay, I'm going to swap out the blade because the chainsaw is getting a little dull. Well, got a nice fresh blade on the saw. And that'll help here because this wood's real wet, real green. And I was having trouble getting through it. And it also turned out to be a kind of lousy cut. Here, just to give you a sense of how green this wood is. It's leaking in a torrent. You can see just how green it is. But my cut's not so good here. I wanted my angle to be kind of steep and straighter down. So what I might try to do is overcut this. Start a little higher, kind of come back to the same point that I am right now before I take my bottom cut. That'll give us the hinge we need, and then I'll do the back cut. can see those vines are pretty impressive. I'm going to try to drop the base of it down onto the ground just by taking off that end. Maybe I'll try with a rope. Since it does seem there's a possibility it could swing back this way. The safest place for me to stand would probably be on the far side of that tree. But what I'm going to try to do is relieve some of the tension just by putting a rope on the base of the stump and yanking it away. Let's see if I can do that. If I'm strong enough. Nope. One more thing for me to cut. Well, it didn't go the way I thought it would. But it came down. I think the lesson here is don't underestimate vines. They have sweet ass tensile strength. It's about an hour later. Still working on clearing up the big mess that I made here. But I did something kind of cool. I got one section of that snag that's pretty straight. And so I decided that I would do a lengthwise cut on it, because maybe I could make it into a nice little bench for the fire pit, since I kind of recently lost some of the benches that we had made. So I used the chainsaw to make a kind of rip cut in this, and I did it, one pass at a time, going about, I don't know, maybe an inch at a time, and it came out really nice. And you can see that the wood has this beautiful grain going all down the middle of it. So I don't know if this is one bench with a back or two benches. There's probably two benches. And I probably have to season it a little bit maybe. But I figure what I'll do is I'll make some half round notches in the bottom of it, and then make a kind of log cabin style bench. Should be cool. You'll note that I put the log up on these little sacrificial branches. And that was just to prevent the saw from touching the ground, since I am using a brand new blade. Whew, a lot of work though. Anyway, more cleaning to do. Well, this is my life now. Walk to the pile, grab some branches, walk into the woods. Repeat until exhausted. Into the pile. Stupid tree. Well, I did a pretty good job cleaning up that tree. There's some big old chunks of log. That's the majority of the branches. Although there's a decent mix of old stuff and new stuff in there. Here's this cute little American holly we found. We're gonna try to disentangle it, give it some room to grow. And over here, it's looking a lot better. There's still a lot of garbage here. Decent amount of it is from last year, but still a decent amount of fresh stuff. The thing is, the whole yard's such a mess. It doesn't make much sense to spend this much time down here in this corner of the yard, so I'm gonna take a break and do some work elsewhere. And lastly, I kind of stacked up these half-sawn logs, and once they dry out a little bit, I'll turn them into benches. That'll be nice. Whew, a lot of work.